Peggy Lee Hanson is a member of 2 Toastmaster clubs. One, Eclectic Image, which is her home club, and Advanced Phoenix, that meets in Menominee. She is currently an ACB and ALB, and is the VP of Education for both clubs, along with being webmaster for both clubs. Peggy has recently been approved as our area governor. Very good. Peggy's speech today comes from the Better Speaker series, which is designed to be delivered by a club member that provides new speaking techniques and facts to help all club members develop their communication skills. Her topic will help identify the fears that trigger anxiety and offers techniques for managing them. You all need that. This is the last speech that Peggy needs to present in order to obtain her Advanced Communicator Silver Award. I invite you to welcome Peggy Lee Hanson. What? Me scared? Never! Peggy Lee Hanson.
Thank you, Master Toastmaster. As we wait for our screen to warm up here. She looks a little afraid, doesn't she?
Yeah.
You can see the nervousness, the scaredness, and the fear in her face and her body language. Controlling your fear. What? Me scared? Never. Anxiety has a lot of triggers with it. They come from all different places, but a lot of the places that they come from, there's a solution that we can use to perhaps manage those triggers. But the triggers are for anything that is unknown or new situations that you've put yourself into. Every time you come up and speak at a Toastmasters meeting, or every time you have a role at a Toastmasters meeting, there may always be some sort of situation, feeling of anxiety about getting and standing up in front of your peers. Also, not doing well, the risk of failing. You're afraid that something might happen in your presentation, such as this, your computer locks up, the slides don't go exactly how that you planned them for. Others are speeches where you get up and table topics and thoughts just merely go out of your head. Looking silly. Standing up here and looking silly. Lots of people perform in comedy situations where they won't be foolish. They will act foolish. But for them, that brings about a certain kind of anxiety as well. But when we are up here to give speeches in front of people, the last thing we really want to do is to be foolish. We want to be credible, not foolish. And then also the possibility of putting your audience to sleep. You don't want that to happen. You want to bring energy and liveliness to your audience. So that might be a trigger as well. But to get rid of these triggers, you have to know what the symptoms of the triggers are. Heart rate. Increased heart rate, fast heart rate. That can be, oh my goodness, there's the heart. It's going faster and faster all the time. Also, the butterflies in the stomach. I think I really don't know any one person who hasn't had the butterflies before speaking. Stomach gets nervous, gets all tight, tense. Also, uncontrollable shakes. You're shaking up here. You can hardly, if you're holding a paper, sometimes you see people read and they're really shaking as they're moving forward. Also, another symptom is lightheadedness, dizziness. And if you look at this graphic long enough, you just might get both. There's 3 ways, though, to manage your anxiety and the symptoms that come about. The first one is the experience. Get used to standing up in front of the crowds. Speak as often as you can. Also, visualization. You can close your eyes and imagine what it would be like to stand in front of an audience and give a perfect speech, perhaps other things along with that. Relaxation. There's ways that even when you're standing up here in front of the crowd to be relaxed and at ease as you deliver your speech. Now, for some defined instances, for the experience part, talk in front of a mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and give your speech. Now, this can be difficult for some people because we are so critical for ourselves, to ourselves. But get over it. Because other people see you the way you are, and they love you and like you for how you are, because of you. So become the lion instead of the kitten. Also, rehearse in front of family and friends. I consider family and friends the second most critical people that you can practice in front of. But they love you and like you too, so they will be kind and generous in their feedback. Also, deliver a speech in front of your Toastmasters Club. This is the safest environment. You know that by now for being all experienced Toastmasters. It still has a little bit of anxiety tied to it, but yet at the same time, you are welcomed. They like and love you too. So just do it. Just do it. Also, give presentations anywhere and everywhere you possibly can. Create the opportunities to stand up in front of different audiences. Once you keep doing that, it gets easier and easier to stand up. The fear may not always not be there, but it's a way to get it to subside. Just do it. Managing anxiety, the second one is for visualizations. There are several techniques that you can use when you do the visualizations. Some of them can be guided visualizations, but most often it's the visualizations that we can do ourselves that will get the better results. And by that, you use your thought processes to create your own visualization. And in that, let's try it. We're not going to be sitting on the beach anywhere, but we will be standing, waiting to be introduced and taught, and so that we can be speaking to an audience. So if you feel comfortable enough, close your eyes and let's do one together. You see yourself standing, waiting in the wings to give your speech. The person that is introducing you is at the lectern, reading your biography. You begin to breathe, relax your body. You are relishing in what the introducer is reading about you. He is done with your introduction. He introduces you. He turns towards you and invites you onto the stage. You hear applause. He greets you at the lectern, and you begin to speak. You take a deep, relaxing breath, and you begin. confidently, assuredly, knowingly, your subject is being received along with your message, and every now and then you see the heads nod. You are done with your speech, and you hear the applause, and you see one by one a person standing over here to your left stands, a person in the middle of the auditorium stands, a person on your right stands, and pretty soon you are receiving a standing ovation. How good that feels. Take a moment, drink that all in, and then you can open your eyes. That feel pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
You like that? That
Yeah.
works very well. And of course, when you're waiting in the wings, you don't have quite that long of time as you're being introduced, so you can chunk that information down and just go quickly to being introduced and feeling the applause of the audience. The third way to manage your anxiety is by the relaxation techniques. And this is just get your body moving. And it could be just as simple as raising your hands, going down, touching your toes, and maybe doing a couple jumping jacks or something. And just anything to get your body moving. And that includes perhaps your shoulders. You know, if your shoulders feel tight, roll your shoulders up. You know, perhaps you'll take your neck and just kind of roll it around and just loosen up your body. Maybe just shake everything out. That's okay to do. But if you're lucky, maybe somebody will give you a little shoulder rub, as seen here. Next, there is the relaxation techniques. Mainly for the relaxation is breathing. You don't have to sit in the lotus position to be able to do the breathing technique. You can do this standing, and you can do it in a sitting position. So as you sit in your chair, you can make sure that both feet are flat on the floor, sit up a little straight in your chair, hands in your lap loosely, palms preferred facing up, and you can close your eyes or not, and then just deep in, take your 3 deep breaths, and then exhale. So breathe in once, exhale once, breathe in, and do this about 3 times. And you can probably feel a little of the tension going out of your body. I use breathing techniques even to come about and to bring me present into the situation. If I am conducting a teleconference call, I may need to be centered myself. And so if I need to be centered and present to the call, I will ask my participants to do a breathing exercise with me so that we can breathe in all the good air, let everything else out with the bad air, so that we can do the work that we are wanting to do. Same thing with the speech. Breathe in, breathe out, so that you can bring the work that you need to do for your audience. Cast your fears away. You know, everybody gets nervous. Everybody has a problem with getting up in front of people. I don't know of anyone, even the big speakers, Wayne Dyer, Jack Canfield, Marianne Williamson, Oprah, they all get nervous, they all get the butterflies. You're in good company. And your audience isn't going to notice. More times than not, I've heard people come up to me afterwards and say, oh my goodness, how can you do that? How can you sing in front of people? How can you get up and speak in front of people? It just seems so natural. But yet you have the butterflies, you have the heart rate, the racing heart, you have all the fears in the world. But yet you are able to combat them and manage them through these simple techniques. Your confidence wins over people all the time. Mask your fear and turn it into confidence. Take the challenges and turn it into confidence. And now I say to you, congratulations. You are now a better speaker. Master Toastmaster.
Thank you. I guess I'll give you a little time to write down your evaluations. I think I'll save the evaluations until after our table topics. It's okay.